What's up, everybody? I am back. Yes, I know I've been gone for a very long time, but we'll discuss that in another video. Right now, I am here to review Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episodes 1, 2, and 3. I don't know what to say about this season. I don't know how I feel, but I know that it is definitely going to invoke a lot of emotion. I think I can guarantee that. If you are new, welcome. My name is Ronnie P, and you are tuned in to Ronnie P TV. So let's just get into it and talk about it, shall we? We have Clara and Ryan. Clara is a flight attendant, and Ryan is a project manager for a software development company. What do I have to say about Clara and Ryan? First impressions, I think that Clara is truly an extreme extrovert. Yeah, she lives right up to it. I think the only time she had a little bit of a blow up is with the makeup and the hair. And I can understand that if you're not used to that. And I guess those were not people that she chose. So I could see how that could be a little bit overwhelming. But other than that, I think she was pretty easygoing about the process. Ryan says that he is like outgoing, but he comes across a bit reserved to me. I could take him or leave him. It really doesn't matter. I was underwhelmed by him. I was surprised though when he said that he was African American, because I thought he was biracial or he was just racially ambiguous. But they showed the picture of him when he was in high school, and his parents are African American. His brother looks African American. Ryan does not. But he says he is, so okay. When I saw him physically, aesthetically, he just looked like a cross between a spider monkey and a sea lion to me. And I'm just going to leave it at that. The next time you see him and you see his profile shot, just remember, spider monkey, sea lion. Then we have Virginia and Eric. Virginia is a customer experience specialist for a marketing firm, aka customer service rep. And Eric is a Marine, if I'm not mistaken, and he's also a pilot. Virginia is 26, Eric is 34. Virginia is a party girl. She is an extreme party girl, and she likes to drink a lot. Eric is from a traditional family. He's conservative. He's been married before. He's divorced, but he is a very low profile, easygoing type of guy, where Virginia is she's not settled. She's not settled at all. I was glad that her dad showed up for her wedding, but she just disturbed me the entire time. All she did was drink. She just drank the entire time. And it was just disgusting. But even though I think Eric noticed it, he was still enamored by how much she was into him, and she was very affectionate, and he enjoyed it very much, and he was very happy. His mother, Mrs. Lake, seemed very pensive while she was sitting to the back, and I think she seems apprehensive about Virginia, and I think she should, because Virginia's main concern was whether or not her husband would be a drinker. I think that says a lot. A lot. So I'm not impressed, and I'm not hopeful of that couple on first impression. The next couple we have is Brianna and Vincent. Brianna looks like a princess. She's absolutely just stunning. I think she's so beautiful. She reminds me of the singer Estelle. I think she looks like Estelle. I think she's so pretty. She is a civil engineer, and Vincent is an auto broker. Now, I had to look up what an auto broker was. It sounded really broke to me. It sounded unemployed, and I wasn't too far off. So an auto broker is basically the liaison between the dealership and the purchaser. He negotiates the deal, does all the paperwork, yada, 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 gets the keys, and delivers the car to the owner. But I did a little research on that profession, and with now the age of the internet and the online sales, and they're not as much in demand as maybe once before. They're pretty much more on the line of like brick and mortar. So I don't know. I mean, we know what Brianna does, but Vincent, and he was really adamant about somebody supporting him and helping him build an empire, and with someone who's established already, that just sounds like broke talk to me. So I'm skeptical of that couple, only because I really don't know how financially stable Vincent is. And by the way, my favorite dress was Brianna's. She had my favorite dress. Next couple we have is Paige and Chris. Now this is where I got upset. It struck a nerve, and I was convinced. I've convinced myself that the experts do not pick these couples. Production picks the people, and they match them, and it's just for ratings now. Initially, the first initial seasons when they had Monet and the other guy, like season 1, and those, and Jamie and her husband, they really were actually making an effort to try and match people on the ideas of the spouse that they thought they wanted. Now, I'm not so sure. Paige and Chris. Paige is an accountant and a part-time realtor. Chris is a finance manager and a restaurant owner. That's what he says in his intro. his big concerns was that, tastefully speaking, he may not be attracted to his wife. How Chris said it was, what if she's ugly? Chris, you're nothing to take a second look at. I don't mean it unkindly, but I mean, you're really not. I think Paige is beautiful, and I think that she is very career driven and goal oriented, and she has stability in her life. Chris, not so much. He has no problem expressing that he was recently homeless, and he had to say that it was in South Florida. And yeah, I felt some kind of way about that because I live in South Florida. So I was like, why you had to be homeless here? You could have been homeless anywhere else. You could have been homeless in Georgia. But I just think he's a mess. He also divulges that he was recently engaged up until 5 months ago. And that may not be so true either after doing a little research. I'm not here for Chris. I don't like Chris. Chris seems like a big scammer. And I feel like Paige got the setup. I feel like she was the setup of the season. She should get a whole season to herself. She should get a redo because Chris is a scam. And I feel like if they are really vetting these potential participants thoroughly, then you should know that someone was recently engaged. If the super fans of the show found his Instagram and found the video of him proposing to his now ex-fiance, then certainly production could have found it. They should have been able to ask for your social media and just do all of their little investigating. But somehow he made it on this show. He talks to Paige's friends and he says that Paige isn't what he's used to. And initially, right off the bat, I thought that he was used to like light-skinned women, or maybe again, exotic looking women. Anything doesn't look like Paige was a dark-skinned black woman. And even though he is attracted to her body, I don't think he was attracted to her face. And when she was coming down the aisle, he actually mouthed and was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, that's messed up. But he tells Paige about his recent engagement, and she says it's not a red flag, it's a yellow flag. And I'm like, no girl, that's a red flag. That's a they set me up. I want to talk to production. I want to talk to the experts. What made them think that I wanted somebody's leftovers? Like, that's real true leftovers. 5 months, and he said he had time to process and heal from that. I don't like Chris. I don't like Chris. I don't think that he is a good prospect for this experiment. And I think that it is going to put a bad taste in Paige's mouth when it comes to marriage, at least for a little bit, and relationships, because this is people saying, okay, they're going to trust professionals and experts to know what's best for them, because obviously they've been making mistakes in choosing a partner for themselves. And that's the messed up part about it. After this experiment, I think you should really know yourself and know what you want and know what you don't want. Because even though they are quote unquote experts, they don't know you. They don't know. That's not enough time. I don't care how long that application is. They don't know you to know where you are to say even if you're ready for marriage. So it's a really big gamble, big gamble. Lastly, we have Haley and Jacob. Haley is a finance broker and Jacob is a lead IT tech. Haley looks like Jessica from season 10. She looks just like Jessica to me. She just seemed very, she said she knew what she wanted. I mean, I wasn't really impressed by her. She's 28 years old and she says she's been single for 7 years. And I look at that like, it's your 20s. You could have taken that time either to say, okay, I'm going to focus on my career, my education, and put relationship to the side. You're in your 20s. Absolutely. You're 28. You're still at a good age for marriage and having children and all that good stuff. Or you could have said, in my 20s, I'm going to stay single. I just want to do me. I don't want to be in anything committed. But you're still in your 20s. I don't see where people this young need a process like this. Now, Jacob, on the other hand, who is 38, I could see him needing a process like this. He's getting ready to cross over into 40. He's middle-aged. Middle age is 35. So he's over the hill. And yeah, he should be ready and wanting to find a partner if that's what he wants. And he says that's what he wants. They put two people that are a decade apart together. And Jacob's quirk is he is an 80s fanatic, all things 80s, from the movies to the games, like video games, to the music. He's just like dedicated to the 80s fan. Jessica wasn't even born in the 80s. Excuse me, I just called her Jessica. Haley. Haley was not born in the 80s. So I know that is going to probably be a hurdle. Another thing I thought was interesting is how Jacob wanted to talk about this house that he was remodeling. It had a deck, a pool, a beach, a sauna, and a gym. It's got a whole lot going on. I feel like I know the layout of his house and I could walk through it, and I've never been there. But he told everybody about this house. He told her brother about the house. He told her about the house. I think he told the friends about the house, the bridesmaids. He was just telling everybody about this house. Maybe he should be a part-time realtor. I don't know. The other thing I thought was interesting is that his quality that he was looking for is for someone who had a big nose, because he does have somewhat of a large bulbous on his nose, and he said he would feel more comfortable with someone who had a larger nose. And I'm like, no, you don't want to, make that a dominant trait. No, you want to try and thin that out. But Haley's nose is proportionate. I would say it was kind of large, but it's proportionate to her face. So it's not obtrusive or anything like that. My other thoughts were, I thought that, and I just have to say this openly, I'm going to say it because this is the intro and getting to know the couples. I feel like Black women got the short end of the stick when it comes to where their spouses are financially as opposed to the other brides. Hear me out. Clara, flight attendant. Ryan, project manager of a software development company. Flight attendants don't make that much. Their biggest perk is their traveling. They really don't make that much. Then we have Virginia and Eric. This one really pissed me off. She's a customer service rep and he's a pilot. No, absolutely not. Then we have Haley and Jacob, who I feel were pretty much equally sound. She's the broker, he's a lead IT tech. I was like, okay, they were sound. But then we have Brianna and Vincent. She's a civil engineer. He's some sketchy auto broker. I don't know. He just sounded like he was talking a lot of broke talk, wanting to build an empire and somebody helping him and believe in his vision. Yeah, those are red signs to me. And then we have Paige with Chris, where Chris says he's a finance manager. He didn't even mention that to her. He said that he was the youngest franchise owner in Atlanta. I'm sure that's not true, but he said that he was a restaurant owner. Then he told her it was a franchise. Come to find out, the franchise is Subway. And in addition to that, fast forward, update, spoiler, whatever you want to call it, the Subway is not open. Okay? It's in Marietta, Georgia. It's not open. But you guys can research that for yourself. So I just feel like Brianna and Paige got the short end of the stick when it comes to where their husbands fall at financially, as opposed to Clara and Virginia. I just feel like they were on the come up. And we're going to see how that plays out in the season. I think right now, Chris, as far as his employment, might be comparable to a Michael. But yeah, that's all I got for right now. I am so glad that I got this out. No, there's no intro. I just wanted to get the video out to you. And I am looking forward to episode 4 because there is a whole lot packed into that one. Somebody's pregnant and got a baby on the way, and people been having unprotected sex, and it's just a whole lot. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share if you care. And I will see you in the next one. Until next time, mwah.